No, I have to just ask you this question, Renee, because you seem like you really enjoy what you do, right? And career fulfillment is something a lot of people aspire to have. And so sometimes just the way we go about picking a career and finding the job, we end up in a niche where we never anticipated
Yeah.
going, right? And then 10, 20 years later, we're like, how did I get here? I want to do something different, right? So if I asked you, you're someone who seems to enjoy your work about your keys to fulfillment and having a fulfilling career, let's say top three keys to a fulfilling career, what would you say?
So I would say number one would be um, really knowing yourself. So who, what do you care about? What are your values? Be honest with yourself about your skills, your strengths, um, and try to align your career to those things. Because kind of like we talked about earlier, if you're trying to be someone that you're not, you might get some great job, but you're not going to feel fulfilled because you're not being true to yourself. So that would be number one. Number two, I would say variety. So we've all been there in a job where we're like, I've been doing this same thing for a long time and I'm just bored. I don't feel like I'm learning anything. I don't feel like I'm really contributing anymore. I'm just kind of on a hamster wheel.
Yeah.
That's not a way to be fulfilled, right? So that doesn't necessarily mean you have to get a new job and quit your job, although it might be. People. I think that average in these days, I think the average people stay at a job is 2 years. I think I read that recently. Doesn't mean you need to leave a job every 2 years, but it might mean looking for a new job. It might mean trying to up your skills. It might mean professional development, um, you know, either through your company or on your own. It might mean those networking opportunities we talked about. It might mean getting involved in some other organization that's going to kind of rejuvenate you. That's happened to me before where I was doing something outside of my normal job for an organization and it really got me excited. It made me start thinking, oh, maybe I can kind of bring some of this back to my day job. And it kind of got me excited about it again.
Yeah.
So variety is the spice of life. It's the spice of your professional life as well. And then three, I would say having a good support system. So that's so important in life, for any aspect of your life, having a good support system. But I think it's good to have a professional support system. And that could come in the form of peers at work that you have someone to vent to, you have someone who understands the experience you're going through, and you can kind of talk about it together. It could be really good mentors that you have, either maybe that's someone that you work for, maybe that's someone you used to work for, maybe you've never worked for them, but it's someone that you can go to with things and get advice. So I think a really good support system would be my number three.
Okay. So self-awareness, variety, mixing things up, and support system.
Yeah.
Okay. So in the things you described there, I hear a lot of, again, we're back to intentionality, right? And so one of the things I've been talking a lot about to people that I'm coaching, advising, working with, is empowerment, career empowerment.
Yeah.
Because like I mentioned before, you can find yourself in a profession that kind of chose you, or you just kind of
Yeah.
landed there based on, I need a paycheck, and
Yeah.
you make the most of it. And then you find yourself in a different phase of life and you're like, yeah, I want to do something different, right? Um, what are your thoughts about how people can become more empowered in their career choices, and really take charge, show more initiative versus kind of blowing in the wind? Are you somebody who has always been this way in terms of having the intentionality and empowerment, or did you start out like the average person?
I think I started out like the average person, sort of just flowing this way and that way. And oh, okay, this will be good. Oh, okay, I'll do that. And I think, it's a lot easier for me to say these things now at my age with, this far into my career. When
Yeah,
you're first starting out, it's not as easy because you're like, I'll take any job I can get. I just need a
yeah.
job. And yeah, at that point in your career, you got to do what you got to do. But
Okay.
that doesn't mean you should lose track of who you are and what you care about. And
Mhm.
so I think it's super important to be intentional, and you can take charge of doing those things like we just talked about. Um, whether it's listening to great podcasts. That it could be as simple as that. There's some amazing podcasts out there. Maybe
Mhm.
on your way to work in the car, you're listening to these podcasts to help you change your perspective or think about things in a different way.
Yeah.
Um, Maybe you don't want to go to these networking things. Maybe you don't care about that, but there's other ways to get yourself kind of in a different mindset and
Mhm.
get yourself kind of planning ahead. I've found myself a lot of times it is something like that. It's something like, oh my gosh, you have a little epiphany in a moment because you're listening to a podcast and you're like, oh my gosh, why did I never think of this before? And all
Yeah.
of a sudden something clicks in your mind and it gets you either excited about something or it gives you a little nugget of motivation to like, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this. And that one little action can start leading you down a path that you want to go and not just being dragged down a path by how life
Yeah.
is taking you.
Yeah, yeah, very good point. Because I've been that person too. Because I listen to a lot of different content, different podcasts, and it can definitely have the mindset shift, which is one part of what it takes to transform, is having that mindset shift. Because before you have that, you're kind of stuck, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then on top of that, after you have the mindset shift, it's now how do I acquire the skills and the keys to actually move forward?
Yeah, and I think, one of the things that I actually heard, on a podcast recently, when you're feeling stuck, in any aspect of your life, when you're feeling stuck and you just, you feel like you have no motivation and you just don't know how to get out of it, the most important thing is action, movement. If you think about, movement, there's something that shifts in your brain if
Yeah,
you make yourself act, even if it's a tiny little thing. You're just do it, just do it. I'm gonna listen to this podcast. I'm gonna go for a walk, whatever it is.
yeah,
Like shifting out of that changes something in your brain and it
yeah,
can get you past the hump to actually start on the change.
yeah. Sounds like the Mel Robbins 5 second rule.
Yes, I love her.
Yeah, yeah, that's what it sounds like. Yeah, you just got to move, and I'm so guilty of that. Just one, I'm an introvert like you, and so analysis paralysis has been something I've
Oh
had
my
to fight
gosh.
forever now. Just getting stuck in my thoughts and just my brain is
Oh
spinning,
yeah.
right? Trying to find the answer, and it's usually because I'm trying to play it safe, right?
Yeah.
I
You don't
don't
want to fail.
don't want to fail. I don't
Yeah.
want to fail. And so my brain just keeps contemplating, and I don't take action. And
Hmm.
so what you said has something I've had to adopt in order to make sure I move things forward. Just take it, just act.
Yeah, I
If you
have
mess
too. I
up,
mean, it doesn't come naturally to me because I'm the queen of analysis paralysis. And you don't want to make a wrong decision or make a mistake. But honestly, you have to be willing to make mistakes because that's usually where we learn the most.
yeah,
So
yeah. And I've learned that the hard way because being a perfectionist too, like I would avoid doing things, but then that inaction actually holds you back more
exactly.
than if you took action and made a mistake and then pivoted, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Man, great advice. Great advice.